Canadians are soon going to buy more crypto. You look at Koreans, they are looking at the same. You look at Japanese, you get the same understanding. You look at the INR, Indian rupees, you get the same narrative. All of them are going to buy more crypto. Why? We're going to break all of those with the key points so that you don't misunderstand things. Because the Bitcoin is showing you just this right now, and XRP is making that pattern again. Let's break that down. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Let's first look at why a lot of people will jump into the crypto, especially the altcoin markets now. You look at Canadians, look at their currency, what's happening there. This monthly candle close, which just came 10 days before, is kind of showing you the idea they closed a monthly candle here, a quarterly candle here, which means if you pull in the macro chart, which is the yearly, you will see a clear breakout from a bull flag. Fine. So now if you go back to a quarterly, what can you see? You're back in that territory where you were in 2003. Any push to the upside is kind of choppy water. Now, while the dollar is strong, look at Canadian dollar to Indian rupees. I mean, that's surprising a little bit. Why? Because Indian rupees is also getting hit hard at dollar. People are moving more and more into crypto. For sure, we saw that in Korea as their currency was getting devalued, majority entered into crypto. They lost 40% of their purchasing value in dollar terms in just 3 years. That's crazy. Now look at Japanese yen. I mean, they got smoked. Literally, if you look at last 4 years, they lost 60% of their purchasing power. That's stupid crazy. Now if you go back in Indian rupees terms and look at what that country is doing, take it from last 4 years for all these other currencies, it's doing okay. That, yes, it lost 20% of buying power, but compared to the Japanese yen, which lost 60, compared to the Korean won, which lost close to 40, they are doing okay. Now compare the CAD to INR. Yeah, they are not doing good, meaning CAD is slowly getting devalued from its highs of 63. It's now dropping below 60. So if it loses this support, oh God, that is going to be bad. I mean, that can push the price lower, which again means the dollar, Canadian dollar to US dollar proportion is going to change, which means a lot more people will be attracted into crypto. Why? The Bitcoin dominance is still at that range which we would like it to be, and it is slowly testing and retesting that range again, which is not that great thing for those who already bought in, but those who are buying now, those who are new, for them it's a great opportunity. Now you look at this, you kind of understand we went through the exact same thing multiple times in this market, where it was not that great for us who bought in so early, but it was good for those who were buying in at that time. Now look at XRP on that front. I mean, ask this question to yourself and answer it honestly. Answer it honestly. Back then, it was really hard to see the price popping, dropping, popping, dropping. But right now, is it that bad? I don't think so. If you bought in during this accumulation region, you are not bad. Now, pick up assets like Cardano. It's still in the same situation. It went up. Yeah, you're not in the 0.29 territory. You're at 0.9. You're close to $1. That's not bad. But what is the trouble there? You're still respecting a long-term resistance which started from 2023 Jan. So that's entire 2023, entire 2024, and now in 2025. That means there is trouble. Yeah, you're trying to break that, and if you cannot, what will happen? You will drop. Now, when you go on a monthly, Cardano is showing, no, I don't have a negative divergence. Don't be worried. Yeah, I'm forming higher highs, but higher lows. I'm fine. So what does that actually mean? A lot of people are starting to ask such questions. Don't worry. If you are a long-term hodler for this particular group of assets, I mean the smart contracts, you may not do bad. You will drop. For sure, the price will drop to test a base support. Most likely it's going to be 0.5 region, which means if you buy at that region, or if you bought at that breakout, you're still 70% up. It is time for you to make a good decision. Think about this. It can drop another 40% because of the negative divergence. Now, where will you get the confirmation for that? Right? You have the negative divergence for sure, there is no doubt. But now, if you do recognize this as a base, you know, for a reason, if you do break 0.82, 0.8, that's trouble for this particular asset. Now come on to XRP for that matter. Do you have such negative divergence on a 3-day? No, you don't. Do you have it on a weekly? No, you don't. Like, there are a lot of different assets which are starting to develop negative divergence on a 3-day, on a weekly, which does not look great. But my point is, if that asset has a negative divergence on a weekly and a monthly, it won't be good. That's why we are again asking the same question. Last time I asked this and posted all of those assets with negative divergence, you guys now know where those assets are standing. 8 out of 10 of those with negative divergence are struggling or dropping way harder than the average market. Now, yes, the entire market dropped for sure. If you are levered and you have micro trades, you'll get liquidated. Some of mine did too. But the key point here is, if you are a long-term hodler in that asset, most likely you have a bigger bag in that asset. That is where it gets serious. If you're a long-term hodler of any of these assets with negative divergence, you need to think about it multiple times. You don't have much of an option. That is why this season of negative divergence, asking for that, is going to be key. I just posted it 15 minutes back. We're going to go through this weekend and give you guys the proper idea that if that asset has it. Now, I already posted a long list. If you missed it in the last one and you didn't get it, or if I missed it last time, then you have another opportunity to do that. And we'll do that this week itself, so that you know, okay, that doesn't look good. We want to step back. Yeah. Why is that? Because the Bitcoin dominance is still testing this level, and if it forms a lower high, now look at the odds. You go on a 12-hour, you go on a 4-hour. What do you see? We still have a possible retest of this resistance, and if we are getting rejected, that is great. Yeah, another rejection from here most likely would mean what? Yeah, you're on a 4-hour chart looking at this. You're forming what? Lower lows with lower swing highs. So after each low which you put in, the swing is creating lower high. Then you go down to put a new low and tried to put a new high but failed. Yeah. So what will be the next one? You may drop till this point. So each time the Bitcoin dominance was dropping, we saw altcoins running up. Now, if that's so, look at XRP for that matter. Yeah. We're still doing fine. We're still doing good inside this bull flag. We saw the fact that the Bitcoin was slowing down. It slowed down the majority of altcoins, including XRP. We got rejected at the resistance. But say it's going to drop back to the support of this bull flag. Does that look bad? I mean, honestly, if you bought in during this range or below, majority of us, especially in the scientific investor family, honestly, I'm watching all these portfolios on the one-on-one sessions on regular basis. Every single day I'm going through one-on-one sessions with you guys, looking at your portfolio and giving you my thoughts. And I'm watching and I'm really happy that majority are here. Whoa, that's a great family in crypto. If you have XRP average below 0.4, perfect. If it's below 0.5, whoa. You are among the top 5% of XRP holders, because the majority don't have that. If you like, the market gave you 2-3 years to average down, and if you did average down, boom, that pop was for you. You should have taken some profits out, just like we did at the local top. Now, if it drops to 1.8, what does that mean? Ooh, the moment it shows you a bullish divergence at that support, I'm buying back in. Yes, I took profits, the capital out around 2.5, 2.6 something. So going back in at 1.8 is not a bad deal. So you pick up that 2.5 towards 1.8. What do you see? Let's pick it correctly. 1.8. That's a 30% drop in the price action. So you get to earn more in terms of XRP units. So that's like 40% more XRP by the time you go back up in dollar value, which is not a bad deal. Now, come on to Bitcoin. What is it showing you? While I was doing the 92,000 mark, I was saying, yeah, we may have to come back down, test this again, because we have put in local lows like that before. Now, yes, that's an hourly chart. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of noise. Zoom out. Zoom a little bit out. Now, look at this. Do you see the price at the support? I do. But what's the trouble? It's forming something like this. That is not that great. Yeah? So unless you go back up and invalidate this zone, this thing is still valid. So what can happen? Zoom in. Now look at the local resistance levels. You have one resistance swing high here, which again is a lower high compared to this. But you did not actually put in a lower low. You did wick a little bit, but not majority. But the trouble lies in this fact that on a weekly chart, you are exiting the overbought region. Remember, when everyone else says overbought region, the price was going up. Now it's not overbought. What does that mean? The amount of buyers are reducing or the amount of sellers are increasing. Yeah, there will be people still calling for 250,000, $1 million Bitcoin, but we gave you the call at the top saying, guys, I think the top of Bitcoin is in. Yes, for sure, everyone would actually say you are crazy. But in 3 months' time, 6 months' time, or a year time, you'll understand what the top was and what we were doing. Now, look for the base argument here. Bitcoin consolidating in this range. It can do that 30% drop and still consolidate in that range. 30% is way $75,000. So Bitcoin consolidating in that range can still give the altcoins a run. How will you recognize that? You'll have to look at the altcoin chart for sure, but the history of altcoin chart is as such. You look at it and you'll see this. We had a trend line, we broke that, we retested that with the moving average, bounced off. Yeah? Do you see something different or do you see the same thing? I believe we see the same thing. Now, where are we? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But it has done that thing multiple times before. Whether it's on a daily, whether it's on a 3-day, you get to see that, right? We had a breakout, we had a retest of the trend line and the moving average. Boom, it bounced off. Now watch. You have a breakout, you retested the moving average and the trend line, you bounced off. So if you are repeating the same pattern again and again, what does that mean? Now, where are you right now? On a 3-day chart, you have a breakout. You're retesting that trend line with the moving average. On a daily, you're below the moving average, but above that trend line, like 2 trend lines, they're acting as a support. And on a 3-day, you are testing that moving average. In 3-day charts, you can see this clearly, whether it's in Jan 2024, whether it's November 2024, you did the exact same thing before you bounced off. So if the altcoin market is about to bounce off, it will be visible in the Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, it's clear. There is no doubt on that front. So pull a daily chart at least, if not a 3-day or a weekly, on a Bitcoin dominance level and look at this. Are you arguing that it is trending higher? As of now, it does not look so. Yeah, you made lower highs, you made lower lows. So are we going to do this? If we are, then you have another swing low with a lower low formation, which is going to be crazy. Now, you have seen similar charts before, but let me ask you this. What do you think is going to happen after something runs up like this? Historically speaking, you do something like this, at least till this point. Now, say you're very, very optimistic about the altcoin market, then you're literally talking about this. If you're too pessimistic about Bitcoin, you're arguing this thing, the 40% mark, it's about to break this time around. It's about to dump like this, retest and go down. Is there a case scenario like that? I'm not sure. But at least till that 40% mark, that's the history. We may come back down to till that point. So if you're riding the market, understand the macro, the cyclical view is as such. So while you make decisions, understand it. Whether you are in literally meme coin segment, whether you are in literally smart coins, pull that chart up on a weekly, pull that chart up on a monthly, and ask yourself what you're watching. Because say, the time is now critical. Some of these assets are showing you a negative divergence on a 3-day, but not on a weekly, but not on a monthly. What does that mean, right? Say you put Doge and you're confused. On a monthly, you don't have a negative divergence. You're putting in higher highs, higher lows. So yeah, it may drop, but then it may do this. Yeah, that's all-time highs. If you are not levered, you don't care. You want to ride it. You're on a weekly, that's a clear retest. Who cares? Yeah. But when you're on a 3-day, when you're on a daily, you're starting to watch, whoa, there was a negative divergence. Yeah. So what should you be looking at? There can be a retest of the support. Fine. But if you bought this asset back here, what are you supposed to do? Yeah. Because most of us see the tax, capital gains, short-term tax at 35-40%. If that's you, you may not get anything in here. You will sell, you will buy, make some profit, but then hand it over to the government. If you want to do that, it's all good, it's all great. If you are in a region where you're not paying tax for crypto, go for it. It's fine. So it depends purely on your personal situation. But you now see that daily, 3-day, when it shows a negative divergence, you see a drop in the price. If you are ready to go through that volatility, fine. The weekly and the monthly, just like last times, are going to bring you back up in green to the new highs, to the new numbers. I've seen a lot of people hitting $1 million and about 1.5, 1.82 first time, yeah, in last 5 years. Yes, they will drop 50%, but they're not coming back to the actual capital. If you invested 200 and you reached 1, now watching 500 is not bad because the next leg up is going to be 2.5, 3.5, depending on the assets you have. Is that bad? Long-term investors, no, it is not. And that is exactly why the Scientific Investor family is going through all that we can to give you guys the right perspective on a macro chart for all the assets which you have in your portfolio. So guys, if you received value, smash that like button. I'll meet you guys in the next video. Bye for now.